Welcome. Today we're heading somewhere really quite special. You might know it by its Anishinaabe name, Manitoulinisland, Spirit Island.
Or Manitoulin Island.
Exactly. We're diving into the world's largest freshwater island. It's situated right there in Lake Huron.
And it's big. We're talking nearly, 2,800 square kilometers?
Yeah, about that. Massive.
But, it's not just the size that's fascinating. It's the geology. It's really quite unique.
How so?
Well, this is where the really ancient Canadian Shield bumps up against the Niagara Escarpment.
Ah, okay.
And that creates this incredible landscape. You get this really rugged, kind of irregular shoreline.
And all those lakes inside the island too, right?
Over 100 of them.
Yeah.
108 internal freshwater lakes. It's quite something.
And the name itself, Manitoulin. You mentioned Spirit Island.
Right. It comes from the Ojibwe term Manitouwelling,
Which means?
cave of the spirit. It refers to this underwater cave, thought to be the home of a powerful spirit.
So right from the name, you get this sense of deep spiritual importance.
Absolutely. And that feeds into this interesting paradox about the island.
Paradox.
Yeah, like it was isolated, right?
Yeah.
Being an island, which was great for preserving indigenous culture, a real sanctuary.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But at the same time, its position in the Great Lakes, super strategic.
Ah, for travel, trade.
Exactly. A
Aye.
key spot, especially for the French voyageurs moving across the continent. Vital.
So isolation and connection, both defining it.
Pretty much.
Huh.
This unique geography really set the stage for its whole history.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then, to sort of unpack how that landscape shaped everything.
Yeah, from its deep indigenous beginnings through European contact and, what it's like today.
Let's start there with those ancient roots, the Anishinaabe peoples. They've been there for millennia.
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
The sources really stress that connection. It wasn't just land to the Anishinaabe, the Ojibwe, Odawa, Potawatomi.
The Three Fires Confederacy.
That's right, a really sophisticated alliance. And for them, Manitoulin, Nizing, it was alive, a spiritual core.
A gathering place.
And more, a spiritual heartland. Plus that unique geology we talked about. It meant abundant resources, plants, game, fish, everything needed to sustain communities.
So not just surviving, but thriving. Culturally, spiritually. The isolation helped protect that.
For a long time, yes. But then, of course, Europeans arrived, those French voyageurs first.
And that started to change things.
Well, yes, it
Yeah.
became complex. That strategic spot made it a key trading post. Furs, mostly.
Right.
But the big issue, the real clash, was over the land itself, the whole concept of ownership.
You mean the treaties, like the 1836 and 1862 ones?
Exactly. The sources really highlight the completely different ways these were understood.
How so?
Well, indigenous understanding was generally about sharing.
Yeah.
Stewardship, access to resources, living with the land, not owning it outright.
Whereas the European view was...
Cession, transfer of ownership, which led to situations like what many now call unceded territory.
Because the agreements were interpreted so differently.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That 1836 treaty, it was initially presented by the Crown as like setting the island aside forever for indigenous people, a sanctuary.
But then...
But then just a few decades later, 1862 happens, and large parts of the island were, the term used was surrendered, sold off for colonial settlement.
Even though indigenous people were still living there and had a different understanding of surrender.
Right. It really shows the power dynamics at play, colonial goals reshaping that ancient relationship with the land.
It's such a layered history. So bringing us more towards the present day, how has the island's identity, its economy, and culture kept evolving?
Well, the economy shifted quite a bit. It went from traditional subsistence through logging, commercial fishing.
Then now?
Now it's mainly agriculture and a really growing tourism sector.
Okay.
And what's really interesting is how that enduring indigenous culture is becoming a central part of the tourism.
Ah, so it's not just about the scenery.
No, not at all. You have indigenous-led experiences, art, storytelling, offering visitors a much deeper connection, a more authentic understanding of the island's heritage.
That feels important, like a living culture sharing its own story on its own terms, a sign of resilience.
Definitely. So as we kind of wrap this up, Manitoulin Island, Nizing, it really holds this powerful story.
Yeah, a story of enduring indigenous heritage, rooted in that spiritual connection and things like the Three Fires Confederacy.
And also a story of really complex colonial encounters, defined by those conflicting treaty views, the whole issue of unceded territory.
And now this evolving place where culture and economy are finding new ways to connect, especially through tourism that respects that history.
hmm And thinking bigger picture, Manitoulin's story, especially those different ideas about land, about ownership, it
Yeah.
reveals so much about stewardship, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And how complex that is, particularly when we talk about reconciliation today.
It really does. It leaves you thinking, what insights can this spirit island offer you about your own connection to place, to history, how we understand land itself?
Something definitely worth pondering.